Hey, Colin.
Yeah, Cadence.
Do you like media and entertainment that's badass?
Durr.
Do you like media and entertainment that's bitchin'?
Yeah.
And how about a little bonkers?
Hills, yeah, throw that in there.
Then I think you might like this thing called the Baywatch Rewatch.
Oh, God. Are you trying to promote the podcast I'm actively doing with you right now?
A little bit. Is it working?
Cool intro. All right, well.
Let's get started.
Let's get into it, guys. Hi, guys. It's Colin.
And Cadence.
And we are so excited because last week we did our first special episode.
Thanks, Killing, in case you missed it.
I hope you guys loved it because we had a lot of fun recapping that crazy-ass movie. It was bizarre.
Yeah, I forgot how... I was telling Jed, I remember that movie being offensive, but...
That was wild. My senses were all offended.
Watching it again, I was like, it really truly is just right when you think it's at the top of its depravity. It's like, oh, wait.
It just gets worse and worse and worse.
Let me tell
you.
you.
The worst.
I mean, when you start off with shit in a coffee pot.
It's hard to go back.
To say that
it's hard to go
that's the least offensive thing.
Oh my gosh, but I am happy for Thanksgiving. It's next week.
I know.
But I'm not we don't do
I know, I don't have anything either.
We're brothers and sisters, we're not doing anything.
We're so excited.
We're just going to Florida. It's really ridiculous, but
not me. I'm not going to Florida.
Colin's I am, going and to I should not be traveling, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it for love. All right. Well, this week, so last week we kind of condensed the episodes. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along and it was kind of cool. Like we said, we got the meat and potatoes. But this week we're going to go back to our original format of just kind of walking through one major episode where... Because
this is a super important
episode.
episode. And it just needs its own light shown on it in the spotlight.
It does. It's so good. And so we're going to and then next week, we'll condense a little bit more and then we'll get some good stuff towards the end. And like we said, we still have our little specials. So thank you guys for listening and sticking in. We'll go ahead and jump into the episode. Sticking it in. Thank you for sticking it in. It just really got her. It really cracked her up there. I forgot you're on the horn wagon. You're still on horn wagon.
I'm just like...
No, the horn train.
Thanks for sticking in.
I said sticking. Oh, yeah, you're right. That is kind of weird. Thanks for sticking it in. I said sticking in, like sticking in with us. But I don't think that's the right word. Sticking. You get it.
Sticking with us.
Sticking with us.
Whatever.
Yes.
Anyway,
let's jump into this episode.
I think it's also paired with the fact that you are shirtless.
Oh,
and you're just lounging, recording shirtless. And
I'm in New Mexico right now working on a project.
Flaunting your bod. and your raw sexuality.
Ew, Katie, I'm your brother. You're so gross. I am sitting here because it's really warm here. You guys, it's 75 degrees. I thought it was going to be really cold, so I brought only sweaters and stuff. And then I've been doing a big project, and it's making me sweat because it's such a labor-intensive project. And so I rushed home to film this or record this podcast, and I am shirtless. But you know what? I didn't have any. I don't have any t-shirts or anything to put on.
Or your famous short shorts.
Oh, I do have my short shorts on.
Oh, that you do.
I do have my famous short shorts on.
So you brought those.
I did bring those because I got to show off these legs to myself while I'm here alone in my cabin in the woods.
Every mirror.
I'm just like, ooh, look at these old gals. Little Heidi Klums. Yes,
I just imagine you rushing in frantically, just stripping off your clothes as you run through the door.
Well, that's what I did because I was trying to get everything set up really quick and we had a strict schedule. And then I was like, I'm behind. So I did. I ripped off all my clothes, put on my short shorts, got my glasses and set everything up. But I'll probably get cold here in a minute. But Anyway, that is completely pointless story.
We'll keep you guys. We'll keep you guys posted
on whether I put on a shirt or not. Cool story. And that being said, speaking of no shirts on, let's check in with these lifeguards.
Good segue.
Alright guys, so last week we gave you a huge download on all kinds of different things that were happening. We had weddings, ocean pregnancies, almost deaths in lava tubes, fake weddings. It was all a lot.
Treasure hunts.
Shark. Oh, and
poachers.
Also Dawn's secret.
Oh, yeah. That was, of course.
So, and we all
top of the line.
How do you listeners feel about Dawn? Like, we're all like, do you like her? Like, based off what we're saying? Because I don't know how anyone could like Dawn at this point. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
I know. Unfortunately, I don't. And I'm sure that the actor... Okay, so number one, the actress is a beautiful, talented,
gorge,
wonderful
except for
woman.
that weird face she makes.
I'm sure she is...
That's me doing that.
The lizard?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like she's a lovely human being. But yes, purely in context of the show, just to clarify.
Yes, we don't like Dawn's character.
Her character is very divisive and problematic, and
she just caused a lot of problems since the day she got there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She's living off of it too. She loves it. It's like food for her. It's fuel.
So the episode starts with Sean and Jason on some jet skis, and
they're on Sandy's Beach.
And they're classic on their jet skis. And then they're kind of just looking around, and then all of a sudden we have
my girlfriend. She's stuck in some kind of crazy net. Are you okay? Yeah, but I can't get her out.
A fishing net. I guess to catch like tuna, like mad tuna or something. The reason Kai hates them is sure enough, big-breasted woman stuck in one. She is stuck.
She is real stuck. And so her boyfriend, so they're scuba diving off the coast, which I don't feel like Sandy's Beach with like massive North Shore waves is the place you want to be scuba.
It is
but whatever.
Not the place you want to be scuba diving.
I'm not an experienced scuba diver, but
and you just set the context. It's like super dark and stormy outside, so they just picked the wrong day to scuba dive and the wrong beach and the wrong place.
So they're scubaing, and the boyfriend pops up, and he's like, he spots the lifeguards on the jet skis, and he's like, you gotta help me. My girlfriend's caught in a net. And so
we're not just talking like, her foot is caught in the net. She's is wrapped up like a little barato, and she is just making really weird movements. Well, she's stuck in a net, so.
There are so many things, too, about this rescue that are a little bit perplexing to me, because she's scuba diving, so, like, she has air. She's good. Like, life or death-wise,
got a little bit of
she's
time.
Covered.
She doesn't need a stress. She's got a full tank of oxygen, and she's on the surface of the water.
Kai and Sean, they're the ones truly in a desperate situation because they don't have air, and they're diving down repeatedly with no air supply.
And I'm happy
with
that
a knife.
I'm happy that we're getting to see Kai in action. For you guys that don't know, well, you should by now. Kai is the lifeguard in the beginning who's like the Hawaiian one that gives Jason a hard time all the time.
Right.
But we're seeing him in action, and now I know he's in the team. Or
now you know that he's
a sidekick.
There's a reason why he's part of the team.
A little sidekick.
So yeah, they're the ones that are like lacking oxygen supply, going down and up, down and up. And I kind of just want to be like, lady, chill out. Like they've got a knife underwater with no air supply. Like, you're good. Just take a deep breath, literally, from your oxygen tank. It's also interesting that her scuba gear doubles as a corset / bustier. Because it's very
Those
strategically
boobs
placed.
Are propped up. Oh, let me tell you, that's what's cutting off rocks. She can't breathe. She's smothered in those things.
Boobs as much as the next person.
Oh, love boobs.
Love them.
Love
them. But the way that this scuba gear is attached, it's like literally buckled right under her breasts. And so it's like pushing them up so tight and so tall, which I also agree with Colin is part of the problem with the oxygen supply. And so the camera just is focused on like, see how tight it is? See how tight it is? See how tight this is?
It's supposed to make you feel like you're stressed out too, like you can't breathe.
But all you're seeing is that pink bikini.
But I think about it, Cadence, like dolphins get stuck in nets and turtles. Mm-hmm. And I think this is really representative of the panic that they have and the troubles that we cause in the ocean every day from overfishing.
Agreed.
So I think, that's just how Baywatch gets you again with that, powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm. They lure you in with the boobs. I feel like we were able to see from an early age, like the whole picture of what Baywatch had to offer. Like whatever, hot bods.
Hot bods.
But the reality is we were seeing the subtext.
Oh, yeah.
Early on.
Come on, like that's first episode. Except for Jason, we do grovel over him every episode. But after the first episodes, they're just like reg
I don't know if grovel is the right word.
We're like down, bowing at his feet, like kissing his feet. I meant what was the word? We love him. We
are what is the word?
Awkwardly loving him. I don't know.
We ogle him. We ogle him.
We ogle him.
Goggle, ogle.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Globler. Remember when you tried to do the turkey?
Gobble.
Globler. You couldn't do a turkey noise. Globler. And I'm like, Katie, it's gobble.
All right. So Sean and Kai, of course, complete the rescue.
Obs.
The woman is saved. And my favorite part is there's this like brief moment where you see
extra.
the extra who's playing the boyfriend, like the camera pans over to him and he's like smiling super big. And then all of a sudden it's just like, whoop.
Oh, no, gotta be concerned. Sad.
You can hear the director off screen just being like, no, you're worried about her. You're worried about her. She almost died.
You can physically see him go from a big wide smile to
nope,
he did something wrong, like he got reprimanded or something.
Yeah, it's good. So we transition. I guess Sean's gonna treat himself or something with a shave ice.
Anytime you save somebody, you treat yourself to a shaved ice. So he is with Jason at Matsumoto's, which if anyone is listening who's been to Hawaii, it's a famous place on North Shore. That's really good. But him and Jason are in line, and Jason is his classic getup.
Oh, yes.
His cowboy hat, his white shirt, and Sean is still...
Do me a favor. Don't ever let me catch you wearing that hat on duty, okay?
I'll try not to.
No. Don't wear the hat on duty.
Like they just do not. They do not
hat.
want Jason to be himself. I don't
Why
get it.
does everyone hate this hat so much?
They hate it.
I don't understand.
And they're not even on duty. Jason can wear whatever he wants off duty. Come on.
So they're also having a very, very, very important conversation about the actual name of shave ice and the actual difference.
I can't believe people would wait this long in line for a snow cone.
It's not a snow cone. It's shave ice.
It's a cone of crushed ice with flavoring. It's a snow cone.
Not true. Not true at all. This is a work of art. Shave ice. Water that's crystal pure. Flavors that you only find in Hawaii. You know, if I was down to my last buck, you know what I would buy? Shave ice.
Shaved ice.
Not shaved ice. Shave ice. There's no D. Shave ice.
Got it. Shave ice.
Sean gets very, very, very opinionated about it. So they're ordering from the desk. They get finally to this seems trivial, like I'm explaining to you trivially what happens, but this is important. It's important build up. So
it's very important build up.
He orders
for everything that's happening.
2 shave ices, right? He turns around and Colin, what do you think? What happens?
Whoops.
Oh, I am so sorry. That must be
cold. Yes, it's very cold.
Right on this beautiful woman's chest, snow cone. He doesn't drop it into her breast. He shoves it between her cleavage.
And kind of moves it around a little bit.
Actively shoves it around like he's trying to stab her with the snow cone. And it goes all down her cleavage. And this beautiful woman reaches down with her hand and pulls the ice out between her cleavage and starts eating.
It's guava pineapple. This is my favorite.
Like trying to sexually eat it, but more like scary, weird, I'm eating shaved ice off my tits kind of thing. And she's supposed to be very
fistful of it.
Fistful.
Like a fistful.
And she's eating it in her fist. And she goes, is this guava? It's my favorite.
And then she says,
I usually bathe in guava. It's much better for your skin than aloe.
I bathe in guava. It's better for your skin. And that alone opens the door for like 1,000 questions. Like, are you juicing the guavas and filling up your bathtub with it?
Yeah, do you like add some kind of oils?
Are you chopping it up and you're like in like a fruit salad type of bath? Are you using
with
like
cherries
guava
and
oil?
maraschino cherries and apples? Or bar soap? Like, what is it? Just natural guava?
I need to
Lots
know
of questions.
so many things. And
Lots
then
of questions for this woman.
So Sean's like deeply embarrassed that he has very vigorously rubbed these shave ice into these bosoms.
Aggressive shaved ice bosoms. Wait, what was the second shaved ice for? Was he just really hungry?
For Jason.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. I thought Jason was ordering his own. I did not incorporate that.
Yeah, because he tries to give Sean money and Sean acts so freaking noble. He's like, no, I got this. As if he's getting them like...
It's like a $2 shaved ice.
I know. He's so generous. And then he goes, well, we got to wash that off or it's going to stain. And she's like, my skin or my shirt? And he's like, your shirt. And she's like, darn it. I hope you're talking about my skin.
Why would she want it to stain her skin?
Because he is going to get a wet towel to clean it off. And she
just wants a big guava stain on her skin. It's like tanning, it like tans her.
Tanning my skin. So in the process, someone hands her a towel to clean off with, and as soon as she touches that towel to her stomach, she has an orgasm.
It's gross.
She's like, ah.
and then she flosses the towel between her bosoms. She's flossing it like you would floss your teeth between her breasts.
Under her shirt.
Under her shirt, up and down, just like, And
she's in a store with hundreds of other people around. Sean's staring at her. She's casually flossing her boobs and making sounds.
Have you ever flossed your boobs before like that? Take out the getting out of the towel and drying or shower and drying yourself, but like in a seductive way. Does Jed like that?
All the time. It's especially seductive if I'm fully clothed, and then I just find any sort of like random
and
object.
It's like an old random dish rag from the Matsumoto's. It's like the busboy handed it to her, and it's all stained and dirty. She's flossing between her boobs, like very sexy.
And she's so aroused. Sean's so aroused. The whole thing is just over the top.
She basically is like, oh well, what does she say, Kaden? She's like. Once she flosses her boobs.
She says,
I need to get this rinsed off of me and get to work. But maybe we'll bump into each other again sometime.
Hopefully next time I won't be holding something so cold.
You promise?
I just hope next time I'm not holding something so cold. And she's like, you promise? Which I also don't know what that means.
I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be sexual. Promise? Maybe his penis is not very cold. I don't know. I was just assuming maybe he was trying to be like,
He's just gonna bump into her with his penis.
My penis is warm, not cold. So Jason and Sean.
Thanks for sticking in, Sean.
Sean's always sticking in. So Sean and Jason watch her walk away in her chunky heels and her tiny, tiny, teeny shorts and her wet, and she goes into a giant. Like you know when you go to get your TV fixed and the guy comes out, the Dish TV network comes out with this like huge truck that's like 18 wheels, like a dual cab, like giant truck,
24 wheels.
So she's like struggling to open the door and get in, and you're like, oh, she's in a big truck, and then she shuts the door, and guess what's on the door?
Yeah, it's the North Shore Baywatch
lifeguard logo, and they are both like, oh wow, all right.
So my favorite part is that Jason watches that whole show from the sidelines, and he's just like,
"You're a smoothie. You gotta remember that move. Fake left, go right, slam dunk a snow cone on her.
You're quite the smoothie. He calls him a smoothie, number one. Number two,
that has to be a play off shaved ice in a way, I guess.
I guess. He thinks Sean orchestrated that whole thing. He's like, yeah, you faked right. You went left. You smashed that all over her, that shaved ice. And I'm like,
he
Jason,
was aggressively snapping it into her
I
breath.
promise you that Sean he did not plan that in any way, shape, or form. But it's really nice of you to think that Sean has that much game. That's very sweet of you.
So the next scene is this mystery woman who is still sexy and still technically has things down her breast.
She has a briefcase.
She hops out of her giant Ford F-150 and she's got...
But that is also from like 1987.
It's the oldest, biggest truck and she's so tiny. And she hops out and she grabs like a clothing thing.
A
dry cleaning bag and a briefcase. But she's in chunky heels, short shorts, and a halter top with no bra. Just keep that in mind. So it's showing that she's serious and she means business.
She's sexy, but she's also here to kick ass.
And she also knows how to drive. That truck was just, this whole time it's been the cute little red ones on the beach. This truck is giant, old construction
ran
worker
out of money
truck.
for those props. They were like, just go to the salvage yard, guys. We gotta have something.
So she shows up at...
But Colin, what's in her dry cleaning bag?
Oh.
Her outfit. It's a tankini, a red paper.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. I was going to get there. So you're wondering what the hell is in her briefcase and her dry cleaning bag. And she gets in and unzips her dry cleaning bag, and it is a white lab coat, like a doctor's lab coat, with a Baywatch badge. So she's obviously very important. She's a doctor of life-saving. She's Jenna, the doctor lifesaver. And she's very serious. She's unwrapping it and she's like touching it. And so it's literally like Kaden said, a tankini, the red Baywatch tankini, and a doctor's lab coat with a Baywatch badge.
It's amazing. It's white. Oh, it's so good.
And she's opening her briefcase, shuffling around some kind of probably medical papers. Because she is officially the doctor on campus. And everyone's like, what is going on? And Jason and Sean are there themselves. And
they've just seen her flossing her breasts, so they feel conflicted.
Hello again. I'm Sean Monroe, and I head up Baywatch Hawaii, and this is my desk.
And a very nice desk it is. Chair, too. Ergonomic. Probably avoids that dreadfully painful bending of the wrist ligaments while you type.
And you are?
The new head of the North Shore Lifeguards. This is our facility, and I don't mean to seem inhospitable, but you and your staff are taking up a little bit too much space.
Actually, I was just looking for a name.
Jenna Avid.
Pleasure.
They're like, this girl totally acted inappropriate at the Matsumoto's, and now she's the doctor of lifeguarding that's going to come.
She's the head of the department?
We thought that Dawn was the PhD in oxygen.
Oh, you know Dawn.
Dawn, sit down. Oh, she's going to be so mad. You know this is going to be not good. So basically Jason's like kind of back talking to everybody like Dawn and Jesse, and he's kind of like, oh my God, Sean met this girl at the...
Oh yeah, he's such a gossip goose.
Yeah, he's a little
episode.
gossip goose, and he's telling everybody like...
He spilled a snow cone on her Matsumoto's and ate it off her chest.
And then she starts introducing herself.
Because she decides, because she's now the department head, that she needs to introduce herself to everybody at the same time.
Yes.
And this is where it gets real.
Cadence, are you joking, or are you really telling our audience that she is now the department head?
Well, because I don't know what title to give her. This plot line was so confusing to me, because she comes in and she's like...
So let me be clear about this. First of all, we welcome and applaud your efforts to form an elite group of international lifeguards. But here's the deal. You guys are visitors. This is our facility, and it's a functioning Hawaiian lifeguard headquarters. Now, you guys train here. You live here, and that's cool. It's not a problem. And we all know the governor approved it. But here's a little change. On the days when we, the working lifeguards, are shorthanded, you'll enhance your training by taking regular assignments. Consider it in lieu of rent. And since I believe that there is no time like the present, we will start our newfound partnership today.
You guys may have built this facility and you may live here and whatever. You've done a great job with your international team of lifeguards. Just one international person who's from Australia. But she's like, but I'm from the North Shore and this is our beach and you're going to have to earn your keep. And I'm like, who the fuck did Mitch talk to in order to build this magnificent center?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he just never mentioned this. There's a whole rival team of lifeguards, and all of them are like, what the hell? How did we not know about this? We are the only elite team on the island. How did any of this get past us? And so, yes, when Sean goes to call Mitch, that they have to get, like, they have to be the only lifeguards on. I'm watching. I'm watching Mitch go downstairs.
That's why I lost. That's why I was asking you to pause it.
I can't even tell the story. You're running up the stairs to catch that place. That was the most bizarre run of a plane I've ever seen.
I literally, when I was by myself, I rewound that like 6 times.
I did not catch that the first time. Oh my God, you guys, I'm sorry. This is a side note, but we're watching it, we're describing it, and there's a scene where Mitch out of nowhere is late for a plane, a giant commercial plane, and he's running up the stairs to get into the plane, and he looks bizarre.
The most important part is that it's probably 10 seconds of him running up the stairs of the plane.
God.
There's no background music. There's
Nothing,
no
and
dialogue.
it's a commercial plane, and he's running onto the runway to run up. Okay, sorry about that. We really got off course. But that was so funny.
We will put that clip on Instagram for sure. I rewound that
That was so
many
funny. I did not catch that the first time, but we have to back up.
I feel like I should also clarify that.
Oh God, that was a good time.
It's
That was
maybe
a
like
good time.
a 15-minute or a 15-second scene because I think they caught themselves in a conundrum, the writers, because they're like, well, shit, like Mitch has been concocting this thing. He was bragging about starting this center.
And now he's getting the hell out of Dodge. He's like, bye. Jenna's here now. Bye.
Now Jenna comes in and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. No one asked us permission. This is now my lifeguard center. And Mitch is literally booking it to the plane on his cell phone.
I did not think about it. That's the truth.
This is important because so he's sprinting down the tarmac with his phone and he's talking to Sean, who I guess has called to complain that Jenna's taking over the center.
Jenna is now the name of the woman. We figured out her name is Jenna. She introduced herself as Jenna. So backtrack.
He's sprinting and he goes, I don't know, I'll talk to the governor when I get back. Sorry, I'm in a rush. And then runs up the stairs, and that's it. That's how they chose to deal with that plot hole.
I did not think that is so fucking funny. Oh my God. So it really was. It's like, we have to get, okay, let's compose ourselves.
Oh,
okay.
God, okay.
So what happened was there is a 15-second scene of him just booking it the hell out of Hawaii. And so, yes, the writers chose to maybe not think that one fully through. So anyway, Mitch has gone by, and now they have to deal with Jenna, and they don't know how, but allegedly Mitch is going to talk to the governor about it.
I just can't.
Oh my God, I'm crying. That was so funny. We're putting the clip of him running was because hilarious.
It's like the extended, just complete awkward silence in which he runs up the entire set of stairs of the plane. It's so perplexing because there's no music, there's no dialogue, and I'm like, did he just want that footage of himself? Like, I can skip steps all the way up.
And it's also because it's a commercial plane. It's
Right.
on the tarmac about to take off, and they're like releasing the stairs. Like, come on up. You don't like that doesn't happen. That's not happen when you miss your flight. Like the tarmac, they don't stop on the tarmac and let people rush up with their briefcase. Anyway, that was hugely hilarious, and we need to get back. I'm
get it
pausing
together.
this. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you guys. That was That was
we had to compose ourselves.
We had to compose ourselves. That was a gem, a pure Baywatch gem. But
I got real sucked into just like
I was
giggle
crying.
vortex. Couldn't breathe.
That's why this episode is good, because they just missed that. But officially recap, we just triple making sure they're on the same storyline. She introduces herself as Jenna, Doctor of the Sea. She is
to the entire team
who is like, what the hell's going on? How did we not know about this? And she's like, talk to Mitch, you'll have to deal with it. And again, they just had no clue. Like, they are the only elite team, and apparently there's a doctor of elite teams. I guess you guys, they don't explain it. It's just something they threw in.
Again, it's kind of this weird turf war. But then another really important thing that happens at this meeting is Jenna tells the team, whatever, fine. Like, you changed your whole lives to come here and be on this team. I get it. Like, this is where you live. You're now bunking in this facility. But because this is technically our North Shore, you're going to have to earn your keep. So now you're going to be doing duties to pay the cost of living. So that's another thing that she's implementing.
So she's a Dr. Ocean slumlord.
Yes. All of the above.
Nobody knew any about it. And Mitch, as we know, just boob flosser, and Mitch just booked the hell out of Dodge.
He's like, I did not think about Jenna. did not take this into consideration.
Did not. Tanner's in a gang. I gotta go get there real quick. Hobie just got fake married. I need to get back to LA.
I have no idea how you're going to proceed, but I'll talk to the governor. Bye. All right. So in the process of Jenna sort of shuffling up all the
ruffling up some feathers.
Oh, so many ruffled feathers. So she's assigning people, the lifeguards, duties that they wouldn't normally have. And they feel super insulted by it. And there's a variety of teams doing a variety of things. The first team is Jesse and JD. And they arrive on an empty beach that's just absolutely desolate, and it's just the two of them.
But
and
it's a pretty beach. It's a pretty damn beach.
It's a gorgeous beach. What do we know about Jesse and JD's relationship?
That they have a super healthy relationship. They communicate very well. They're loving and kind, and JD is not an emotional gaslighter. We do know that.
Right.
They're really good together.
Right. And so we sort of get the inkling that being here on this deserted beach, just the two of them, is going to force them to face some issues they may have.
Let's be real, y'all. They need to face some of these issues. And I think it's worth mentioning that obviously Jenna's a boob flossing babe. So all the guys, of course, are oogling over Jenna. So when she was introducing herself in her doctor's coat and her doctor matching mini skirt, all the guys were just like, oh, she's a fiery one. And all the girls were like, oh, you know how that dynamic goes. So, yes, she's paired everybody off, and Jesse and JD are on a beach. And I think they definitely need to get their emotions checked. I was picturing myself as Allie and what I would do in this situation, because Allie's the old one of the group. She's like, what? I don't know what's going on. She just Jenna puts Allie on walkie-talkie just nonstop.
I have bracelets that say, what would Allie do? And that's just how I live my life.
So Jesse and JD are talking on this beach, and again, JD brings up his organizational skills, and up until this point, he's just like, we need to do this, this, and this, Jesse, and she's like, why?
I'll tell you, this day is going to pay some dividends. Catching up on all my paperwork. I mean, these schedules are over a week old. This work is important for the whole team. It's got to be done.
Right now? Right the second that I'm talking to you?
If I don't do it...
What? Nobody else in the world can?
Jesse, I'm here because of my organizational skills.
Nobody he's shown none of us any organization this entire time, by the way. No. I don't even know what
if anything, he's shown us absolute chaos.
Except for when he had those rolled up maps finding those kids. He was pretty organized. He ran to the
top of the mountain. You're right.
And like Kaden said, they are dealing with some relationship stuff.
Right, because Jesse's realizing, okay, well, we're alone together. We really haven't had this kind of time to talk, so let's do it now. And she's trying to have a conversation with JD, even like a fraction of a conversation about feelings. And he's immediately like, I've got to get this paperwork done. And she's like, why do you have to do that right now? And he's like, because of my organizational skills.
He's just dedicated. So she's looking at him and being like, oh, who's the JD that I used to know?
Right. And there's this montage that takes place.
Oh, it's so emotional, you guys.
Making me feel
them kissing in showers and them kissing
so deep.
everywhere. This is actually kind of shocking for us because they never showed any physical touch. So these flashbacks are kind of, it's like, whoa, they actually maybe kissed. But they're like, he's in the shower soaping down and she comes in her full clothes and it's like all that. Oh, and then she got something on her lip. Let me get this off.
No, I think you need to specify he's wiping off her teeth. It's supposed to be like a cutesy, like, oh, you got a little chocolate. No, just he's literally wiping her front teeth with a napkin.
Like, putting on the nose like, boop. But you're right. It was like he's wiping lipstick off of her teeth. That is cool.
The montage ends, and she says, what happened to us? And JD starts getting real wiry. And she's like, you were supposed to train me for the Xterra, and I'm not even close to being ready for that. And you told me that this was like honeymoon destination. So what happened to that?
Did you just say honeymoon?
A honeymoon. Yes, a honeymoon destination.
A honeymoon destination. Honeymoon, I think is what she meant. But we get it. Okay, keep going.
So, but this is classic JD because Jesse in this moment is saying, okay, if you don't want to be in a relationship with me, fine, whatever. However, you did promise on a professional level as a peer to get me through this competition training, and you're not doing that. And he loses his shit. He specifies how much he hates bickering for a solid 5 minutes.
Today is a perfect example. Look at us, you and me alone on this beautiful beach, and what are we doing? We're bickering.
I don't bicker.
Really?
Absolutely. I never bicker. Never have bickered, never will bicker. I hate bickering. My mother and my father bicker. My sister and her husband bicker. That's why I don't bicker. I never bicker and never will bicker.
My mother and father bickered. My brother and sister bickered. My Aunt Linda bickered with my mother. My mother bickered with Nancy down the street. Nance, her best friend Betsy, bickered with her. And it really, and I am not a bicker. Like it's the weirdest, like traumatizing, triggering word for him.
He does not don't even say the word bicker around JD.
Do not. He will blow up. And so he goes and he's like so angry that he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. So he like stomps away and starts picking stuff on the beach, picking stuff up.
He starts picking up trash. Right.
And then Jesse's like,
JD, we were talking about us and about our friendship and how we lost sight of that.
Maybe you have, but I haven't. Never lose.
And he's just being classic JD. Like, she's very calmly trying to be like rational. Okay, so I get it.
Jesse's character.
Our relationship is no longer romantic, but can we still be friends? And he just he's screaming, he's stomping up and down the beach, he's throwing a hissy fit.
Some people have no respect. They give no respect, they get no respect.
And he's blaming her for it, of course.
Jesse, when you get like this, I just don't know how to talk to you.
Always, because that's his MO.
Let's just recap for a minute. Jesse was completely cool with him sexually massaging Kakoa. She was completely cool with him getting a full body massage by a children's pool, watching Kakoa robotically getting out of the pool and go to the shower. She was completely cool about him basically hitting on everybody and being in a relationship with Dawn back in Florida. Jesse has been totally chill. And she's so I'm really on Jesse's side right now. I'm that's so attached to her, but she's been so cool. And she just tries to have a rational conversation. Yeah. And JD throws a little hissy fit.
Yeah, he's being such a baby about it. So we leave, thank God, Jesse and JD to bicker to their heart's content.
Don't you ever say bicker around JD.
Never say bicker again. And another team that has been paired together is Sean and Dawn. And Sean and Dawn, they're delivering, it feels like they should have their own sort of spin-off.
I know.
So they're really insulted because they're, like I said earlier, Jenna, in an effort to kind of get the team to pay for the cost of living at the facility, has given them jobs that they normally wouldn't do. And they are delivering, Sean and Dawn have been assigned the job of delivering supplies to each outpost.
This is going to be a day to remember, resupplying the lifeguard tower.
Well, it's got to get done.
Right, by a rookie. Yeah, your new friend seems to be getting under everyone's skin.
Tomorrow we'll probably be giving potty breaks. Yesterday, I didn't think our crack international training team would be reduced to making supply runs.
Dawn is freaking furious.
Because, okay, another beautiful woman comes onto the scene that's a doctor of oxygen and ocean. Are you kidding? Of course Dawn's going to be upset.
But this is a brief moment where Dawn has some self-awareness because she says,
if anyone around here knows the type, I do. Believe me, she has an agenda. She's going to become a real pain in the butt. In fact, she already has.
Oh, if anybody's going to notice, like, ulterior motives, it's going to be me.
Yeah, and she's like...
trust me, Jenna has them.
Sean's kind of being like...
Dawn, be patient, will you? This is a one-time deal.
He watched her floss her boobs, so instantly he goes to that. So he just, like, doesn't want to believe her, but... She's mad.
Kid yourself. Don't kid me.
She's upset.
And she's feeling jealous because, as we learned from the treasure hunt episode, the gold treasure hunt, she did make the moves on Sean, and she did start implying that she wanted to get to know him, if you know what I mean, if you catch my drift.
Oh, Dawn wants to get to know everybody, but
she really,
I wouldn't mind getting
friendly.
to know Sean. I wouldn't mind getting to know Sean. Get in, hey.
She's stewing over Jenna when... all of a sudden, Sean gets a call over the walkie-talkie, and who do you think is on the other end of that walkie?
Sean, this is Ali. Do you read me?
Hello, Sean. I can't do it. Hello, mate. It's me, Ellie, the walkie-talkie gal. I cannot do it. I try every time, but I can't. But it's Allie. She is head of walkie-talkies. Her and Jason are on a post. They've been teamed up together, which I have all kinds of questions about because I think that's a good thing.
Right, so they have been assigned another beach, yep.
Mm-hmm. And they call her and they say...
yeah, we've got a little situation down here. You better get down here.
What kind of situation?
No, you better get down here real fast.
There's a protest going on at the beach where all these swimmers are getting nude.
Yeah, so they call Sean because, of course, he's the head of the elite team, and they say, we need you here now. So Sean and Dawn immediately relocate to the problematic beach of protesters.
What is going on, guys?
They show up, take off their clothes, and walk into the water.
I won't say a word who they are, what this is about. Sean, this is just inappropriate.
This is where,
I love
Dawn
protests.
is in
I would be part of a protest. I love all protests. I want to go protest everything. Anyway, keep going.
No, speaking of that, Jason also wants to join this protest. And I got super excited for a second because you get introduced to the lawyer that's representing the protesters, and she explains...
How is she doing that? Like, these are all my clients. Like, how do you be a lawyer of a protesters? Like, I don't get how that happens.
Right. She's like their quote spokesperson. So she explains why they're there.
She is in a sassy pinstripe suit.
I am here to protect them from anyone who infringes on their First Amendment right to free speech. I'm their spokesperson.
Oh, great. A press release.
Why?
Let me quote. Even as we stand here, a cloud of nuclear contamination is being carried on the winds to our precious islands.
To that end, we sacrifice our bodies as the ultimate symbol of the innocence of our people and our land.
And Ali and Jason are sort of off to the side, and Jason, after hearing their reasoning, is like...
kind of agree with them,
And Ali's like...
Jason, you're right. They may have a point.
And he's like...
I think we should take our suits off, and we should jump in the water with them and join them.
And I'm like, please, yes, let's strip off our suits and get in. Please,
yes,
please,
I will too.
Please, let's do that.
This is my cause too. I love this cause. It's my favorite cause.
I'm like already halfway undressed.
Yes, I love this cause. I love it so much. Let's go.
And then Allie's like, oh, you. And I'm like, Allie, that was it. You missed an opportunity. What a missed opportunity. So,
and Allie also says something because they're protesting the nuclear fallout. But Allie's like...
protesting nuclear fallout used to be fashionable. Now, nobody cares.
This used to be hot back in the day. Like, people used to love to do this. She's literally like, it used to
back
be the
when we invented the atom bomb.
She's like, when we invented... Back in World War II, people loved it. Was a cool thing to do. I think she says something like it was like this fashionable thing to do. Or,
yes,
or
and
something
now
along
it's
those
not.
lines. So she's very much dating herself again.
And the other really, really, one of my favorite things about this is like two police officers ride up, and one of them comes to Sean and he's like,
what exactly would you like us to do?
I'd like you to get him out of the water.
In the water? They're your problem. You get them on land, we'll take over.
Nope. When they're on land, they're our problem. When they're in the water, they're your guys' problem.
Like, that's how that works. Like, that's how that actually works.
I feel like I should go rob a bank and then just, like, take a little
Just take
floater
it all
out,
into the water.
right off the shore and just sit there.
Just steal
Can't touch
everything.
me.
Yeah, and just be on a
Can't
little
touch me.
houseboat. Sorry, I'm off, not on land anymore. This is the Baywatch team's problem now.
Can they get me? I don't know.
Let's
Can they?
just say that everybody is in a hissy about this protest. Now everyone's getting involved. So we have
And,
Sean, Allie, Jason, Dawn, and now who shows up but the new doctor of the ocean.
The new doctor
Jenna.
in town. And then the media starts coming in.
Media, the lawyer, pinstripe lawyer, cool.
And there's a helicopter circling overhead.
Yeah, you can tell this
They
is
wanna cover this.
a big old hoopla.
And Dawn she like starts acting as though she has like a ton of experience with the media. And so she keeps saying things like,
Send in the clowns, the circus is here.
Now it's the circus, bring in the clowns. You know, like that type of a thing.
We all notice these people out. They're still protesting these beautiful extras. And then one not quite beautiful extra is obviously having a little bit of a problem. Like we said earlier, he might be experiencing heat stroke. So now we've got this media circus, and now some guy's having a heat stroke. But he's also shivering, which doesn't, I mean, like maybe that happens when you get heat stroke.
Listen, we're not medical experts, but I'm sure Jenna could
Someone
explain
get Jenna on the phone.
all of this to
Someone
us.
get Jenna on the phone. Is his oxygen okay? Her and Dawn just start fighting. For who? Like, I think his oxygen might be running. No, it's ocean. That's what it is.
It's definitely the water. It's definitely the water. No, it's definitely the sun. No, it's definitely he's not breathing enough. So there's this conflict where everything comes together. The lawyer, who is the spokesperson of the protesters, is arguing with Dawn. Dawn's arguing with the camera. Dawn literally shoves the camera out of the way with
she gets
her hand.
like not Girls Gone Wild, but like what is it? Bad Girls Club. She's just like, get out of my face.
Totally.
Like she's turning into hardcore.
I mean, there are so many things about this protest that I don't necessarily understand. However,
there's a lot, you guys, that's going on.
I do understand that when someone is protesting, they obviously feel fed up and unheard. And you have Sean and Jenna and Allie and Dawn marching in to save the day. And they're telling these protesters like,
Okay, look, we are not judging your message here. What's in question is how you choose to convey that message. You can't do it here. You're making a mockery of everything you believe in.
Look, this is not my beach. It's your beach. Look, you don't like the cloud of contamination coming your way, neither do I. You want to do something about it? Great. But don't destroy something that's beautiful in order to protect something that's evil. Protect your beach, don't pollute it. Otherwise, you're going to end up becoming one of them.
and I'm like, they're non-violently protesting.
I know, this is the most
They're not
polite
hurting
kind.
anybody. They're quiet. They're not saying anything because they've hired the lawyer as their spokesperson. And
they did this efficiently. They're literally just standing in the water, you guys, just staying there. Like they're quiet.
Yes.
They're literally not holding signs. They're not making any noise. And we just, it's like a perfect protest. And the lawyer, spokesperson who's in her pinstripe suit, she is fumbly bumbly. And
wait, did you just say she was in her pinstriped soup?
No, it's her pinstripe suit. Soup? Did I say soup? Her pinstripe suit.
Okay.
And it's
she
just
gets so riled up at
she
this
gets
point.
so riled up that she doesn't. She's like, Sean, don't you dare go in there and try to talk to these people. And then she falls over, and then she refuses help, and it's just a big hoo-ha mess.
I don't think you meant to say hoo-ha.
I did. Hoo-ha is something that, like, okay, yeah, it might be a Vahayin, but also we thought that a Watusi was a Vahayin for a long time, a Vahaina. And I love Vahainas, but I don't call them hoo-has or Watusis.
I hate you for calling
A Vahaina. I love it. It's nature's little purse. You can put anything in it.
You really are gay, aren't you? Because you just don't
put a
know
little
how.
rolled up money in my Vahaina. That's what you use them for, right?
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna die.
But on side note, hoo-ha is not a Vahaina. That's just something that our sister thinks is a Vahaina.
So, I've heard other people say it. I don't agree with it. I think we should use anatomical anatomically correct names for our parts, but
Watusi, I used to think was it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we should clarify that our family taught us, like the women in our family, the maternal line, taught us that vaginas were called Watusis.
Why? And the Watusi was a dance, I get. I don't know why nobody uses that word.
Sometimes it got worse. Sometimes it got worse, and it was like 2C. And then it got shortened.
Tuss. Don't touch your tuss in public. Always cross your legs. Don't want to show off your tuss. Always be careful about showing your tuss.
I hate you. I hate you so
it's true though. They called it a Watusi, and I thought it was the longest time I was like, that is the sickest word. It still grosses me out.
And so I remember vividly watching Dirty Dancing as a child, and they do the Watusi, and I was scandalized.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, how dare they use such a private word? How dare they? And then I thought it was like maybe a sex dance or something. I mean, I was like 10. But yeah, so when I started having kids, I'm like, I do not want to cause that same level of trauma and confusion over body parts.
So we're using the correct wordage.
And so vagina
is what you say.
So
Let's get back
to the show.
Let's get back to the show.
So Sean notices that there's a guy who is shivering, as we mentioned before, and
from heat stroke, which maybe that
right.
happens.
It's like exposure or whatever. And then he also says something to the effect of, you know, you're out here, you're in the sun, you have no protection, your parts of you that aren't normally exposed are exposed, implying his penis. And I'm like, really, it's underwater. Like, really, what's exposed right now is the exact same thing he'd be exposed if he was swimming. But whatever.
That's not a big deal. Sean is basically being Sean Christ.
Yeah.
The Messiah. He is just out there being so peaceful and telling everybody, like, this is a family beach. Like, why do you want to do this?
And that's exactly how he approaches it, because he doesn't tell them to get out. He says,
I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, but you don't look so good. Now, why don't you take a break? I'll stay here, hold your spot, you can come back, huh? How about it?
He does this really compassionate thing where he says, you know what? All you need to do is get out, like get a towel around you, take a little break. I will stand here in your place. I will protest as you in spirit, as proxy. I'm worried about you. And through this act of compassion, the other protesters, they start looking around and they're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best way to do this.
We are naked on a family beach, and maybe we could do this on a different beach.
A different way.
Or be naked together in maybe a room or something.
Yeah, maybe we could all be naked in a bed together.
We could just be naked in a bed together. There's a lot of ways to protest.
Protest with our bodies.
Oh, okay. So that's basically what happens, and they all start coming out of the water because Sean Christ got it. And as he's doing that,
they all start coming?
Oh God! Every once in a while, I'm at least polite about it. The Sudden is on this horn wagon. I don't know. When we start talking about this show, it's just she's all hot and bothered. I mean, I get it.
I'm so sorry. You were just talking about having an orgy.
But I didn't straight up be like, maybe they're coming. Maybe they're coming and it's good. Maybe their tussies are wet. Or maybe their tuss is wet. She looks got a big old wet tuss.
Have I mentioned how much
Sean
I
made
hate
her tuss
you?
wet.
Have I even begun to tell you how much I despise you in this moment? Because you can tell me that I am crass, but you just said wet.
I mean, it's just what it is.
Oh my God.
So basically, Jenna is watching Sean and she's got a wet tuss. Like she's ready to be Sean's. She wants him inside of her.
And so, they are also, as just as normal, par for the course for Baywatch, they're having this conversation in like waist deep water.
Yep, as they do. That's how you have conversations. And
Cannot
Jenna
have
basically
conversations on land.
She's like, I'm attracted to Sean Kreis. My tuss is wet. I might as well ask him to go on a date with me.
How about dinner? My treat.
After what you've done, you think that I would go to dinner with you?
Well, that was work. This is dinner. Those are two totally different things.
She's like trying to get a feel for how he
that
feels
bona
about
fide hard
coworkers.
ass. Yeah, whether he's gonna go out with
She's
her.
trying to feel that bona fide hard ass.
Oh, and by the way, just a side note, we were just discussing this just to get a visual for this Jenna doctor. She very, very, very much resembles Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, so much,
Like,
yeah.
it's almost like strikingly like,
It's
oh my God.
uncanny.
We'll introduce her to Instagram, so you'll be able to see a picture. But
Right.
definitely, she's a beautiful woman. I
The
mean, I would
doctor is in.
absolutely. Dr. Doogie Howser, step aside. We got Jenna, Doctor of Ocean here.
I love that Doogie is the first doctor that comes to mind.
Well, I'm thinking like the time frame. He would have been hot. No, this was a little after Doogs.
Yeah.
He'd have been grown up, though. He'd have been a grown up doctor.
He'd just still been hot. Jet gets told all the time that he looks like Neil Patrick Harris. He
Really?
gets called Doogie Howser.
I can
more
see
times
that.
than you would imagine.
Oh my God, I can see that. Doogie House, Doog House, and he has his little bow tie and everything.
That's true. I didn't think
I can
about
see that. Oh my God. Okay.
So Sean agrees to go to dinner with Jenna, and she says she's going to take him to the best spot on the North Shore, which I have a sneaking suspicion is the Hilton Hawaiian Village.
So we're back at Jesse and JD, who are on the beach, and they are still singing. They're still seeming to kind of figure out what they are. And
Their
they're
new
kind
dynamic.
Of, yeah, their new dynamic, and they're kind of being a little more talkative to each other and a little silly.
And JD decides that part of his genius is not only organization, but he's also an inventor.
He's not only a member of the America's Cup rowing team, National Olympic, he also is an inventor and a supreme lifeguard and a trainer.
And
a gaslighter. And a horrible...
world-class
like
gaslighter.
And a big old bickerer.
You can call him lots of things, but don't you dare say he bickers. Because he don't. So he's telling Jesse, because he's spiraling quickly. Like, she wants to have a conversation about the relationship, and he's trying to think of he's cleaning up litter on the beach. He's bitching about the environment. He's bitching about bickering.
It's
and
bad.
then his last ditch effort to avoid a real conversation is to talk about his latest invention. And last episode, during our summary, we talked about how during one of the exercises when the lifeguards were running an underwater relay, they had the canister of oxygen with the mouthpiece. And I explained it's kind of the size of like a hairspray bottle, and it has a little mouthpiece on it.
Yep.
So he's like, oh, I had the greatest idea. Let me show you what it is.
Lots of times we need spare air around a rescue, right? We need both hands, but this one hand has to hold this can of spare air. Not efficient.
Okay, and it might be if we didn't have to use our hands.
Exactly.
So what would be the thing that would help us be more efficient with these canisters? Obviously,
it's a
hands-free.
Hands-free beer bong-ish helmet. You know, like a beer bong hat, like a helmet with the two things straps on the side and it goes to your mouth. That's what he's invented instead of the beer bongs. It's just a canister of air, I guess.
And I think also that this is a really we've touched on how subtly Baywatch likes to advertise in their show. And I think this is one of those moments because she's like, where did you get this idea? And he's like,
Sunday Night Football on ESPN.
And she's like,
Sunday Night Football on ESPN.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN? Yeah, Sunday Night Football on ESPN, where they have the beer hats.
I didn't know you watched Sunday Night Football on ESPN. I do.
Well, I watch Sunday Night Football on
ESPN.
ESPN every night. And it basically, his idea is inspired by the beer helmets. He has the oxygen tanks, and they're strapped to the helmet, and then the connector cord. And I'm like,
basically, it looks ridiculous, you guys. And he's just trying not to talk to Jesse, and he's
how
trying
on
to show her that it
earth
works
could you
in the
actually
water.
wear that underwater?
It's completely ridiculous. It would never work. Your head would be bobbing up. You couldn't do it.
It would just be like a real life buoy. It would
Right?
just be dangling.
And
from
the bottom
helmet.
line is that Jesse's trying to talk, and he's trying everything to get out of it.
Yeah, he's being such a dick.
All right, guys. So we just saw that JD and Jesse were at the beach fighting but getting along, and JD had his bizarre head contraption. And that's kind of where it ended. But we jump to a new scene, and Cadence, where is this place?
It seems super unfamiliar. I don't know that we've ever laid eyes on it before, but it is it's a place called the Hilton Hawaiian Village.
You know what? You had a little inkling about that earlier, and you were right.
You know what?
I can't believe they found
because my body, my brains, my soul. It's
funny
Baywatch
how
Hawaii.
anyway, they're at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, and it's Jesse and JD, and they walk out, and of course they're in their lifeguard bathing suits because they can't ever.
They walk into the valet parks their lifeguard truck.
Yes, it opens up the lifeguard truck. They get out like glamorously, like Jesse's
suits.
Old. Remember her montage of her being rich?
The money.
So they open it up and they're walking in, and there's all these beautiful women in bikinis perched all around through the lobby and outside. They go and they overlook the pool, and you notice that there's women just everywhere perched. Very natural looking, very natural perches.
Yeah,
not at all struggling
relaxed.
to stay alive. And you're kind of like,
their muscles are not quivering.
Again, they're all quivering, and they're like on these lava rocks, you guys, trying to look sexy on these lava rocks, and they're like shaking and like, I just get this over with.
Look
And
how sexy we look.
you're kind of like, what the hell is going on? And
we also, as an audience, are like, what the hell is going on? And you hear Jesse say,
Is there a reason why we're here, JD?
All Miko said was that they needed 2 lifeguards down at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, ASAP.
so let's figure out what they need. Where is the emergency? And it turns out
too much tuss at the Hilton. Too much beautiful tuss at the Hilton. Get over her and get him out. I'm just kidding. That was so nasty. Okay, cut that. Cut that. It's a too much tuss, too much beautiful tuss on our lava rocks. They call in to get the girls off the lava rocks. They can't be climbing on them.
It's a tuss tsunami again.
Every so often we get a tsunami. It's really hard. But get these girls
really
off. It's so nasty. Okay. Ooh, let's calm down. So you don't know what the emergency is. Jesse's been called for an emergency, and these women are still on the rocks, and they find the head woman who is in charge of
running it.
I guess she tells them that this is the Miss Hawaiian Fantasy Contest.
One of my judges called in sick, and I thought maybe you could fill in.
The emergency was, guys, they need a fucking judge.
Now,
and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Because there are people dying left and right in lava tubes. There are beaches that need to be cleaned up. There's so much to go on. And like, you're taking away from that you couldn't find any other judge on the island.
Right. You're taking
Jesse
precious time
JD,
away from an elite squad.
An elite squad of international people that the only international person is Allie. But you're taken away from that so that you can have someone see a competition that they have no part of. It's bizarre.
You could ask any single one of the people that's lounging around the pool, like, hey, do you want to look at these girls real quick?
Like, what makes them more what makes them any more qualified to judge a bikini contest just because they're on the beach all day? It's ridiculous, and it doesn't make any sense, but neither does this episode.
And this is just a way to, again, really hit home that JD is just the absolute biggest scoundrel.
She was talking to me.
No, she wasn't. She was talking to both of us.
No, she wasn't.
JD, stop bickering.
Jesse, this is a beauty contest.
And what's your point?
Oh, come on, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Well, not to me.
She wants a man for a judge.
He and Jesse sort of argue for a second. They don't bicker, though, mind you. They absolutely do not bicker. But they do argue a bit about who's going to take over this judging job. And JD eventually wins because he's JD. And he starts like in a really sexual way, like putting his arm around the old lady who's running the competition. And then here's the kicker. He's walking over to meet, I guess, or like look at, which I also feel like it's not appropriate for the judges to meet the women before the competition, but whatever. And
he's
one
not
of the
just meeting them, he's walking slowly
hand,
by them, going, ugh, like eyeing them up and down, like literal.
Making the same sounds that he made when he was getting his
like
massage.
Literal, like he's like eyeing them up and down, just with this nasty grin on his face. And one girl gets him and shakes his hand, and goes, "I'd love to take you to a party." So they're like basically.
And Jesse goes, she says that. This is my very favorite part. She whispers that, and then he goes back to Jesse, and she's like,
Well, what'd she say to you?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know. And I'm like, that she wants to take you to a party?
She wants to take me to a party. That's like.
So sassy.
But
then the old lady goes, I think these girls are going to be very appreciative to you. And he's like, you think so? And I'm like, are you implying that they're going to perform sexual acts?
I know. Is she like their pimp? Like
in their gratitude?
Like, is this a Nomi Malone sitch?
Is it?
Where
Yeah,
she's not just
100%.
dancing on a boat, but she's dancing on some old men's
poles.
Poles. You know, and Nomi, you guys, she's from Showgirls. She basically she got swindled and they were prostituting her out. But
we've touched on Showgirls before.
We don't. The funny thing to me, and we're just spending a lot of time on this scene because it's so
the girls are just
ridiculous.
in the whole time. The girls are just in the background.
Yes, you don't know, and I'm like,
rocks.
I'm like, are they actively in the competition?
Is this the middle of the competition?
Is this the middle? Did they call you in the middle? Is it the end? Because they're all perched on the lava rocks, just so unnatural. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And they're all meeting JD, which seems not right. And it just, none of it is just, it's just like a fever dream of weirdness.
And then you get a classic Baywatch montage of all these women posed and rubbing their bodies on the lava rocks to a really cool original song.
Your body got me begging for more, picking my jaw up off the floor. Hey, hey, craving the way you move it, so sugar sweet. You went and knocked me out of my seat. You're my sidekick, yeah. If I need a taste, yeah, you're teasing me. You're my sidekick, yeah.
I wonder at that moment if Jesse's like, oh man, I really let go of a good one, or I'm letting go of a good one.
know.
Like he doesn't even in good decency try to show Jessie, because she's a human that he was in a relationship with. Like
right.
He doesn't have the decency not to make these bizarre oogle-ogle.
Yes.
Like it doesn't, and he's just a, ugh.
Like even if you're broken up and you've decided, okay, we're better off as friends, really? Like you're really gonna parade around your ex, like just, yeah, like you're saying, human decency, and get sexual, sorry, that girl was, one of the posing women was lounging in a lawn chair around the pool, and someone just essentially came up with a water hose and just sprayed her right in the face.
She's all,
and it was supposed to be
sexy, but
like
she's drowning.
Sexy, but
she's getting waterboarded.
She's getting waterboarded. Jinx.
Jinker.
So anyway, so yeah, he's just not even showing her any decency, and he's going to be the smarmiest, grossest, slimiest judge for the Miss Hawaiian Fantasy Contest. The end.
We are transitioning now to Jenna and Sean, and they are on a beach, and they approach a very graffitied little food stand.
Food truck.
But
that's the best place on the North Shore, I guess.
Like, remember how last episode we told you, like, in all honesty, there are never restaurants. Nothing ever takes place. Of course, they're on a food truck eating on the beach.
On the beach.
And Jenna is just dressed pure 1999.
She definitely had an extra pair of change of clothes in that briefcase.
Also, where was Jenna living? Like, why did she...
Yeah, because supposedly she owns the North Shore. Yeah, she's the boss.
Why didn't she change into her doctor's coat before? Like, I don't get where... It doesn't make any sense. Like, she's living there.
Colin, you're not a fucking doctor of the ocean.
I know. You have to have a dry cleaning bag.
You appropriately wear your doctor's thing. Jesus.
And basically...
There's a reason that that's not your position.
I know. I'll never sneak in and be a doctor of the ocean.
Nope.
But they are having kind of a little datey type thing, and she's talking to him about spending all this time together with him, and what does he do to break the rules.
It's about dating people you work with.
I'm against it.
Me too.
Was that your question?
Are we working together?
Are we dating?
This could be considered a first date.
Good. This suddenly got much more interesting.
This is the question that really, really perplexes me.
Is it as hard for you as it is for female lifeguards? You know, working together, living under the same roof, spending 24 hours a day with each other.
I'm like, is what harder than the female lifeguards? Why is it harder for the female lifeguards?
Maybe she's making it because, like, they have to be around all these cute boys, or men, I should say.
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe that's what she means. Like,
we're trying to resist you guys all day.
Yeah,
You're trying to resist us.
I think she's trying to be like very like get him. You know.
I was thinking maybe she meant like because women are like prone to drama or something that she was like.
I mean,
so
I'm sure that's
all these catty women.
I'm sure that's what it was. Let's be real. I don't even know.
So she is coming on very strong, which I have zero issues with, but she's talking about the passion and the heat and all the sexy singles. And he goes,
Are you coming on to me, Miss Abbott?
And she goes,
Never on the first date.
And I'm like, isn't that what a first date is for?
I only come on to you on our third, fourth date, maybe. First 3 dates are very professional and we shake hands.
I'm like, that feels like the exact epitome of a first date, coming on to someone, but whatever. So he says,
And I can't wait for our second date.
And then
it gets weird.
This is the thing that I have thought about this this whole episode, because I'm like, how am I going to explain what happens next?
It's like
because he says, I can't wait for our second date, and then it immediately cuts
to this like montage of them in the future, I think, and they're like kissing on the beach and going to dinner. And this like passionate relationship, but it's like foresight. Like it's like he's thinking ahead.
It's like a flash forward.
But you're also like, wait, are they trying to tell us that they're going to be together for the rest of their lives?
Someone's going to get their tooth touched.
She's going to get her little tooth. CPR on my tooth, please. Hey, Sean, my tooth is drowning. Can you perform CPR on it?
I hate that you said tuss.
So
and
gross.
I'm never gonna
Tuss
stop
and CPR,
saying it.
swimming tuss CPR. So
it was Mike. The montage starts out with like her doing very everyday like banal things, but like in the most erotic way possible.
She's like, lifting weights in their gym, in their facility, and it's just kind of a strange
and
like what are they doing there?
Right, you're like, oh, it's just he's really smitten with her, and then it evolves into these very quick like flashes of like high drama, high intensity rescues, like personal passion, lifeguard passion, intense life or death scenes, and you're just like Holmes said, like, I guess this is the future.
Yeah, are
but
they just trying to say these? Are they trying to give us glimpses into future episodes to keep us on? Because
this is where Lost got the idea. Lost got the idea of flash forwards.
You love Lost. You just keep sneaking in a
Baywatch
Lost
Hawaii.
reference every once in a while.
Oh, I used to have dreams about hugging Jack, the character of Jack, but they weren't like
Michael
sex
Fox.
dreams.
Michael Fox is that guy,
Matthew
right?
Fox.
Matthew Fox. He's so handsome.
And yeah, the dreams were not like sex dreams. They weren't erotic. It was just me hugging the shit out of him and him just like wrapping his arms around me for just like hours at a time. I'm very sensual. I'm a very sensual
You didn't have a
person.
sex dream, you had a sensual dream. He's just like playing with your hair, telling you how he loves the color of your eyes.
Yes, my dream come true. And you can see why we wanted to leave this episode.
Yeah,
by
we
itself.
wanted to talk about this episode because we're getting introduced to this new character that's may or may not be having this huge impact on Sean's life and the team's life. She mixes things
she's a
up
big
little
enough
bit.
deal that she scares Mitch just right on off the show.
Mitch just booked it. Wow, gotta get away from Jenna, dude. That was still so funny. And so, yeah, the episode ends with this kind of weird foresight date thing and Jenna and Sean having this like really intense, I don't know, spiritual, emotional connection. Kind of strange. JD, Jesse went to a weird competition. That's the end of theirs. This is episode 14, so we're almost to the end of the season.
Right.
And I think I just have a little feeling that Jenna's going to stir some things up. I think she's going to stir the pot.
She might take over stirring duty from Dawn. Can I grab that stir stick real quick?
Her and Dawn get together and do like super stirs. They become a power team.
That would be amazing.
And then
they're both stirring.
You have a PhD of oxygen, a PhD of the ocean. They would be unstoppable.
That's amazing.
Anyway, you guys, I hope you liked this episode. We had some
Let us
good
know
times.
what you think about Jenna and how you feel about her being introduced and about how you feel about her sweeping Sean off his feet after we've already established like a little bit of a connection with Allie, a little bit of a connection with Dawn, and then out of nowhere, like a whirlwind, Jenna comes in and just sweeps him off his feet and just steals him right out from under both those girls.
And again, we're living in, I don't know, fucking cuckoo bananas land that still nobody is
Nobody's
even trying
hit on Jason
to
yet?
talk to Jason. I don't get it. Are they like, oh, he's 19, so he's just the young one of the group? I do not get it.
I know.
We
I
talked
mean,
about this
when
last episode. We'll keep it short, but it is unfathomable to me that none of these women are like, hey, I'll take a young buck any day.
Oh, my tooth will buck that.
My tooth will buck the shit out of that. Like, come on.
And how much they hate his clothing, like his Texas clothing, combined with how much no one notices that he's a heavenly creature. I just don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
And he offers to get naked with Allie, and she freaking says no.
Oh, I would have swam. I would have swam from California to Hawaii and been there. All right, guys, thank you so much for kicking it with us and having sharing
for sticking it
in with us. And this episode was fun, and we had a lot of fun. And we will talk to you
next week.
Talk to you next week.